By the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. Hope everyone is fine, dear students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm glad to be here with my fourth lectures of psychology subjects. Hope that you are fine and healthy along with your daily activities. And let's me remember you and remember me in your prayers. I will be glad to be remembered in your prayers. So today we're going to discuss about the nervous system and its basic parts. As earlier in the previous lecture we discussed about the nervous system, that this is one of the most complex and communicating controlling system of the human body. So it's one of the major system that control other system. It's other system that normally function. It's because of nervous system. We know we differentiate in the word, we differentiate the colors, we differentiate the sounds, we differentiate the tastes, and we communicate outside the word with the people. It's all because of nervous system. If nervous system damaged, the communications will change. We will face with the many problem the body will face, and many disturbance will take place, and humans will not be capable of recognizing and the outside world. So our communications, our coordination with the external environment is because of the nervous system. So let us now we discuss about the nervous system a little bit more. That we say that nervous system is a nervous system a communication system that network is a communication system of network that radiates throughout the body, and this system spread throughout the body. It consists of billions of interconnected cells. Most of these cells are neuron. That control and coordinate the whole human body and human behavior. And nervous system, it has two main sections, that is central nervous system, which is consisting of brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system, which consists of 12 cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So central nervous system, which is the main system in human body, that is composed of brain and spinal cord. This system detects and responds to change inside and outside the body. This system controls all activity of human body. It is quicker than any other control system of the body. This system plays very important roles in behavior and experience. مرکزی اعصاب در رفتار انسان بسیار اهم رول دارد. مرکزی اعصاب همه فعالیت‌های بدنی ما و شما را کنترل می‌کند. مرکزی اعصاب که از خودی کنترل کننده همه اعضای بدنی ما و شما، سیستم‌های بدنی ما و شما هستند. این مرکزی اعصاب از دو بخش جور شده که خود دماغ و سپاینال کورد است. پس ما در مورد brain gap میزنیم، دماغ gap میزنیم، which is the parts of the nervous system. So the human brain is by far the most complex and it's highly organized structure of the body, and this organs allow us to think, move, feel, see, hear, taste, smell. Whatever we do, it's because of the nerve, because of the brain. So it receives the information, it's store the information, interprets the information, store the information, and give us the outputs. So brain control our body, which receive, analyze, and store the informations. The brain produce electrical signals which together with chemical reaction let the parts of the body communicate. Communication of the body with the brain is because of the chemical reactions. Nerves send these signals throughout the body. It's a very important delicate organ which is covered by membranous covering. Brain is covered by a membrane that is called meninges, and brain lies within the cranial cavity skull. So brain is the part of the central nervous system. So the superiority of man over animal derives from his far superior ability that human are thinking, human utilize objects, both present, past, and human can solve the problems and overcome all the difficulties which is imposed by the environment. So this ability is made possibly by a large and more complex brain that is analyzing the information, taking the sensory information from outside the environment and analyzing that information and giving the outputs. And that's why we communicate with external environment. Any danger, any stressful situation, any bad consequences that humans are facing, it's properly the brain gets the information from the external environment and interpreting this information, analyzing this information, and giving the output to the humans in order to show his reactions, show his interaction with outside. So there is some little more information regarding the brain, that an adult brain weighs about 135 to 1.4 kilogram kg, around 3 pounds, and has a volume of about 12 cubic centimeters. It means adult human brain weighs about only 1.35 or 1.4 grams. Brain is not directly correlated with intelligence. It means that brain has no directly interrelated with the intelligence. It is not the physical size of the brain that determines the intelligence. It is the number of active synapses. It means that it doesn't mean a person have a big brain. The size of brains is very large, so he will be determined as an intelligent person. And the person whose brain size is very small and he is not intelligent, he will be lazy. So it's not the case. It's never like that. But of course, if the synapses, the number of active synapses in the brain are too much, so that person will be intelligent. If the number of synapses, active synapses, are less, so then that person will be determined based on that intelligence measures. So brain is one of the delicate and most complicated structure of the human body organs that is engaged in many complex activities. Where there is a brain in humans, there is activity of humans are taking place. Where the brain is not working, brains are not functioning, it's retarded, it is disturbed, so it is ill, it is sickened. So the person would definitely, his behavior would be quite different from the normal people whose brain is intact. So the brain has mainly 4 regions of cerebrum, the diencephalon, the brainstem, and the cerebellum. Now cerebrum is divided into 2 halves called the left and right cerebral hemisphere. Each hemisphere is divided into 5 functional areas called lobes. Outer surface of an adult brain exhibit folds called gyri or gyrus, and shallow depression between those folds called sulcus. The brain is associated with the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. It means there are 12 cranial nerves which is originating from the brain, spread to all parts of the body. This 12 pairs of the brain nerves takes the information from the brain to targeted organ, to the peripheral systems, and it takes the information from the environment, from the peripheral system. It brings the information back to the brain, and communication takes place because of these 12 pairs of cranial nerves. As I mentioned here, that brain is divided into 2 spheres, 2 hemispheres. One is called right hemisphere and left hemisphere. It means that if you take the brain and if you take the brain as in a circle and you draw a line between these 2 circle, so this part of the brain is called left hemisphere, this part of the brain is called right hemisphere. Now this left side of the brain is controlling our right side, and right side of the brain is controlling our left side of the body. So what occur here, a coordination and a balance of the body come into existence, and we do walk and we sit and we control our our body posture very normally because of the brain that control each side. If our left side of the brain is dominant, so it means we will be the right-handed. If our right side of the brain is very much dominant, strong, so we will be left-handed. So that's why each control each other side. So if you see the examples, if you see these pictures, so this is the spinal cords, and this is, for example, the cut section of the brain. So I say that this brain is divided into two portions. Let's suppose this is if I draw the line from here up to here, so this will be the right side, this will be the left side. So right control left, left control right sides. So when we talk about the parts of the brain, so human brain is divided into three parts on the basis of their function and placement. So that is forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrains. Human brain is divided into three parts. Each one has its own functions and particular function they perform, as well as they have a specific location in the brain. So forebrain, which is mainly located in our front of our forebrain, which is located in front of our head, midbrain, and hindbrains. So each one have its own functional parts. If any one of them is affecting, so our behavior will be affected and that function will be affected. For example, when we are hearing the lecture of a teacher, so our forebrain is active. So forebrain is taking the information and it is sending the information to other parts of the brain, and there is a specific place of memory, so the information will be stored there. Midbrain is there, hindbrain is there. So these are the brains. خودی دماغ که اصلا سه بخش داره که دماغ پیشروی ما پیشروی که هستن و دماغی که در وسط ما شما هستن، دماغی که در پشت ما شما هستن به نام هندبرین یاد می شود. هر کدام فعالیت خود را انجام میده و هر کدامش باز جای مخصوص را دارد. If we come to the structure of the brain, so forebrain itself have some functional parts. That is, for example, forebrain is made of the cerebrums, forebrain is made of the basal ganglia, thalamus and hypothalamus. Then there is a midbrain, then there is a hindbrain. Hindbrain contains pons, medulla oblongata, and cerebellums. So each one has its own functions, and medically there is a great details of information is required to be clearly understand this one, but we are not going too much in details regarding this. What is important we are going to discuss about. We see that there are major region of the brain. So in major region of the brain, one region is cerebrum. So what is cerebrum? Cerebrum is called the largest part of the brain. Cerebrum is the largest parts of the brain. This cerebrum has divided into right and left hemisphere by one of the longitudinal fissures that divides. And this longitudinal divide then it is divided into lobes, 4 lobes. As I earlier told you that right hemisphere control the lefts of the body and left hemisphere control the rights of the body. So each one function in opposite of one another. So body balance and body postures remain in balance, and we walk and we sit and we sleep and we run, and body movement remain in balance. So this is because of the right and left hemisphere of the human body. So that is cerebellum, that is called the largest part of the brain. It means cerebellum itself, it's the parts of the brain. So if you see the picture here, so I see that look at the pictures. This is a cut section of the brain. So this brain is cut in the middle of by a line which is called longitudinal fissures. It means brain is divided by this line of a longitudinal fissure into two spheres. One is called left hemisphere, another is called right hemisphere. Hemi mean half, nisf. Sphere mean kura. Nisf kura hi taraf mein mana, nisf hi taraf mein mana. Now this brain, left side of the brain control the right side of the body, and right side of the brain control the left side of the body. So controlling of these two, it takes they do have a communication because of the neurons, because nervous system in brain works because of the neuron. If there is no neuron, so no communication will take place. Now the balance which is kept because of these two hemisphere, that's why we normally go on the way. It means our walking is normal, our sitting is normal, our body posture is normal. You might have seen many people abnormal walking. They cannot sit while in a good posture and position. So they have a lot of problems. So might be this portion of their body might have been affected. So that's why we see that each parts of the brain, if it's affected, it is along with the effect of this disturbance of that specific particular parts of the brain, the particular function of the brain and behavior will be disturbed. So here we have the cerebrum functional area. It means that cerebrum, that we say it's the largest part of the brain, it is home of our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is located in the cerebrum. This cerebrum gives us ability and enable us to be aware of ourselves and our sensations. یعنی با همکاری سربرم میتونیم ما هم از خود خبر باشیم و هم از بیرون محیط خبر باشیم که چی میگذره. This cerebrum initiates and control all our voluntary movements. همه حرکت هایی که در دست voluntary هستن او را چی میکنه؟ کنترل میکنه. Cerebrum communicate, remember and understand. The communications with the external environment, remembering some things and understanding something, it's all because of the cerebrum. And what is cerebrum? It is the largest parts of the brain. So definitely it will save the information, it will remember the information, it will understand the things. Also cerebrum is help us, the humans, in movement. You might have seen many people are abnormal in walking, so it means that their behavior is not good in regard to the walking or movement of the body. So we say he might be having a bit of problem of internal nervous system problem, brain problem. That's why his behavior is not good in regards to normal people who are walking. It controls our speech. When we are talking, normally it controls our speech. Some people you might have seen, they are not well versed in talking, they are not good in talking, so they are talking imbalance. It means they don't know what they are talking. So that is what because of the affected parts of the cerebrum, which is the biggest parts of the brain. It is responsible for sensory processing. It means when I am touching the things, this touching signal goes to the brain, and the brains tell me to leave this place or remove your hands because it's a dangerous place. So who tells us? The brain tells us. Now if the brain does not work, so I will not understand and I will not recognize the external environment, that what's happening there, whether this place is hot, this place is cold, what is this. The same as a cerebrum, it determines the intelligence of the being. So this is the functional area, these are the area which is located within the brain. So then I told you that look at here now. If you see, this is right hemisphere, this is left hemisphere. Now this is divided into 4 lobes. Frontal lobe, for example, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. So brain is divided into 4 lobes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now lobes of the brain. If you see in the structure of the brain, the lobes of cerebrum, this cerebrum has 4 lobes. This is the frontal lobe, it means front part of the body of the brain. This is the parietal, which is the middle, almost the middle of the brain. This is occipital, which is the back side of our brain, and this is what a temporal lobe, which is almost near to the ears, and this is cerebellum. Now this is the structure of brain. Now each lobes of the brain have its own function. If any portion of the lobes of the brains is affected, so the function of that parts of the brain will be affected. So each hemisphere is divided into lobes, which take the name of bones of a skull, under which they lie frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. These are the lobes of cerebrum. In cerebrum, what is cerebrum? Cerebrum is the largest parts of the brain. So we discuss about first frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, it is located deep in the frontal bone of the skull. It is the front part of the cerebrum. It is concerned with motor commanding activity. For example, when you are in the classroom, you want to remember something that happened in the past, or giving the answer to question you are asked, you are using frontal lobe of your brain. It plays an important role in the following functions. کله چې تاسو په صنف کې ناست یو استاد ته لیکچر ته مو غوږ نیولی وي، ستاسو فرنټل دماغ د فرنټل لوب د دماغو چې کومه طبقه ده، لوب معنا طبقه دماغ ما فرنټل لوب که هست او فعال هستن وقتی که ما لیکچر میشنویم. این فرنټل لوب وظیفه چی هستن؟ وظیفه چی است که میموری فورمیشن، حافظه را جور میکنه، از محیط معلومات میگیره. ایموشنز، احساسات ما را کنترل میکند. decision making and reasoning، وقتی که ما تصمیم میگیریم، وقتی که ما استدلال میکنیم، ما از فرنٹل لوب استفاده میکنیم و شخصیت انسان از برکت فرنٹل لوب تعیین میشود. یعنی frontal lobe is good because frontal lobe is controlling the behavior of humans. What is behavior? That exact behavior that you are doing, that shows your personality. So if your behaviors are not good, it means your personality is affected. So frontal lobe is damaged, your behavior is damaged, you will face with memory problem, you will have a loss of memory, you will not have control over your emotions, and you will not be able to make a decision. So psychologically you are facing with some sort of problem. So that's why if somebody is having some problem in memory formations, if somebody is having emotional problems, if somebody cannot make a decision, if somebody's personality is not good, it means that their frontal lobe of the brain has been affected. So their behavior is definitely affecting. Second is parietal lobe, which is nearly middle to the brain. That is what parietal lobe is responsible for interpreting, for analyzing senses such as touch, pain, and temperatures. I am touching the parts of the body, I am touching the parts of the environment, I am touching the parts of a table, of a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. So how do I understand whether the cup of coffee or cup of tea is hot or cold? It's because of the parietal lobe of my parts of my brain tells me. If I am putting my hands over the hot things, so I understand because of my parietal lobe of the brains. Pain. So how do I feel pains? It's because of parietal lobe of the brains, and temperature as well. Now, if I'm touching the things but I do not have the sense to interpret that what I'm touching, whether that is soft, whether that is hot, whether that is cold, but I don't understand, I don't feel any pain and I don't feel any temperature, so it means that my parietal parts of the brain has been affected. Now, this area recognizes the things which we touch without seeing. For example, I don't see anything but I touch, but I understand. It's because of the parietal lobe. So Almighty Allah has given me this power and capacity to feel the environment, to feel the things, to touch the object and understand the object without seeing it. It plays a major role in the following functions: senses and integrated sensation, spatial awareness and perception. So this is the function of parietal lobe of the brains. It works when we are reading the thing, it helps us. In temporal lobe, which is closely related to our ear, it is the lower middle outer parts concerned with taste, smell and hearing. So this area receives the hearings. For instance, when you hear your instructor, when he is talking, your temporal lobes are operating there. So it plays an integral roles in the following functions. So what I'm hearing, different sound, I'm analyzing this sound. So when I analyze the sound, hear the sound, So it's because of temporal lobe of my brain. So organizing and comprehension of the language, you see different language, understand different languages because of the temporal lobe of the brain. So information retrieval, memory formation. Once you made memory is formed in the brain in frontal lobe, then if you want to retrieve, recall back the information once that is safe, it's the temporal lobe will help me. So occipital lobe, it is located in back of the brain. For instance, your occipital lobe allow you to interpret what you see in the environment. This lobe is connected with receiving visual sensations. Occipital lobe the push dimag ki dimag az manami occipital lobe هستن که دید را کنترل میکند. وقتی که ما محیط را میشناسیم، در محیط رنگ‌های مختلف را میشناسیم، is because of occipital lobe. به این خاطر ما میگیم وقتی که اطفال خرد باشه شما در پشتشان نزنین، به خاطر اینکه در اون حالت انمو اعصابی که شما میزنین ضربه پیدا میکنه، باز دیدی چشمشان خراب میشه، وقتی که کلان میشه امو یک بیهیویرشان تغییر میخوره. So that is why occipital lobe is controlling our vision in extended environments. So once again there is a spinal cord which is a part of the nervous system. After the brain there is a spinal cord. So central nervous system is made of from spinal cord. So spinal cord is the lower elongated cylindrical parts of the nervous system which occupies the upper third of vertebral canal. It is about 45 centimeter long, begins from the medulla oblongata, where it comes out from the skull through foramen magnum. It ends between first and second lumbar vertebra. You see, this is the spinal cord. This is the spinal cord, and this is the brain. Now, the communication between spinal cord and brain, it takes place because of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So, this is the important parts of the central nervous system. So now, function of the spinal cord, it receives sensory, it receives sensory input. Spinal cord sensory information tell us whether something is touching the body, temperature of things in the environment, whether body tissue is being damaged or pain. So it's because of the spinal cord we understand. Second function of spinal cord is body movement. The spinal cord controls all the body activity from neck down. Spinal cord channel for signal from the periphery of the body to the brain or the opposite direction from the brain back to the body. In this توسط spinal cord ما معلومات را از محیط میبریم با معلومات میبریم با spinal cord با مرکز میبره، از مرکز پس میاره، یک communication صورت میگیرد. This is because of the spinal cords. Now the last thing that we are going to discuss in parts of the brain, that is cerebellum. So cerebellum is the second largest region of the hindbrain. It lies behind the pons and medulla, which occupies the posterior cranial fossa. کوچکترین بخش دماغ که است cerebellum است. It has two hemispheres separated by a narrow medium strip called the vermis. The function of cerebellum is concerned with the coordination of voluntary muscular movement, posture and balance. It controls the balance of the body and coordinate the movement of voluntary movements of the body. So mainly cerebellum helps in coordination of the body movements of voluntary vascular muscles. It helps in body equilibriums. That توازن بدن امرای ما همکاری میکنه cerebellums. So any damage occurs to any parts of the brain, whether that is cerebrum, any lobes of the brain, whether that is cerebellum, any parts of the brain is damaged, so that portion will be affected and the behavior of humans will be affected. So it is all about the nervous system. Hope you understand. Again, I want to remind you here once again that it's not important to know every single points in nervous system, because for a medical student it's important. But for your general information, being as a student, what is important and related to psychology, we very generally talked about the nervous systems. Till then, Allah Hafiz, wish you all the best. Thank you for your attentions.